Hello, this is Domenico with another video on how to draw two models illustrating a firm in the short run. And after this video is finished, it will link to another video that will provide a full analysis. This video is just focused on how to draw, some guidance on how to draw this for a potential exam. So we're going to have graph A and graph B. And I should state we're looking at a firm in the short run, and we're going to be charting the relationship between the marginal product curve and the average product curve. And then we're going to look at the relationship between the marginal product curve and the marginal cost curve, and also the relationship between the marginal cost curve and the ATC curve. And to illustrate that relationship, we would need two graphs over each other, on top of each other. Graph A on the x-axis are measuring the quantity of inputs or variable inputs added to production, typically labor, and the quantity of the final good or service, quantity of outputs on the y-axis. In graph B, we're going to take the outputs and move them to the x-axis. So here we're looking at the quantity of outputs, while on the y-axis we're measuring the costs of production. And what I would do first is to draw a kind of vertical or dotted vertical line coming down between both graphs. So I would do something like this. Okay, and just highlighting some values here. In my analysis, I'm going to state that when we get to the third unit of labor, something's going to happen to their marginal product curve. And then in terms of the outputs, I think in my analysis I stated like 6 units of outputs. But in any case, we have this vertical line. It could be a dotted line. That's the first thing I would draw. And then I would go ahead and draw the marginal product curve. And I would just have it move upward to that vertical line, and then have it be come downwards into negative territory. And I would label that the marginal product curve. Okay. With that, I would then also draw the marginal cost curve. So if the marginal productivity is rising, you would expect the marginal cost of employing those additional units of labor to be falling. You're getting much more productivity with each additional unit of labor. So the marginal cost would fall, and then as the law of diminishing marginal return sets in, it would start to rise. So you can see that they're mirror images of each other, and I would label that. I could go ahead and label it S1, because we're going to see that is our supply curve. S1, which is equal to our marginal costs of production, or MC1. I can label that. Next, I got to draw my average product curve, and that would have, this would look like this, and it could rise and it can connect with the marginal product curve essentially anywhere around here, as long as it's not horizontal. So I can have it come up to this particular point, and then immediately it goes downward. And an evaluator would be looking for that, because mathematically, since the marginal product curve is dictating to the average product curve what to do, when the MP curve is greater than the average, it pulls that average up. Then they are equal to each other, and the marginal product curve is less than the average, so it pulls the average down. So I would label that average product, AP. Then I can also label the costs on average. So I can have it, actually, maybe this would be a better idea. Draw another vertical line, as we did before, at the intersection of NP and AP. Actually, let me go ahead and use this kind of pencil. Draw another vertical line, highlight that intersection to provide guidance here. So again, we'll have the average total costs of production, falling and then reaching the marginal cost curve, at the intersection with that vertical line. And then after, it's going to rise. And we're going to call that our average total costs, our costs on average of each unit that is produced. And then I'm going to go ahead and label, and the labeling here is going to be what you will see in the next video that goes into a full analysis of this model. Okay, so I'm going to highlight some key points and provide letters to those key points. It's going to help me with my analysis. And the labeling you're going to see on that next video is as such: A1 corresponding to point A2. Then we'll have point B1 corresponding to point B2. Then the intersection, point C1 corresponding to C2. And then we'll have D1 over here corresponding to D2. And we'll have E1 here corresponding to E2. So that is a guidance on how to draw this model. Now you'll see a link to the next video that will provide a full detailed analysis of the relationship between these sets of curves. And that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. Don't forget to subscribe and to like. Thank you so much.